Alright. In this video, I am finally doing an unboxing video of the Roro X Spool AX22-MG. And yeah, I apologize to Roro for this huge delay because there's actually a very good story. When I actually got this spool, my reel was out of commission. And which reel was that? The Alpha's Air TW. So 2023 opening day, New Jersey, I was kayak fishing for trout, landed a few, but with my Jimbo 40-year-old arthritis, and it was so cold I couldn't even squeeze my hands. And when I casted it, I threw my whole reel and rod into the lake. I mean, check this clip out very quick. Oh, no. No. Oh no. But yeah, I went back out there. Eventually I fished it back up, and I guess I could create a video sometime in the future if you guys want to see that. But when I tried to disassemble this guy, I actually broke something. I destroyed a spring here because it actually popped off when I put everything together, and when I reeled, it crunched up. And yeah, I haven't replaced the spring for this thumb knob, so I don't want to use this reel until I replace that. So it's going to be a winter project for me in the future. But long story short, we are now doing an unboxing video for this, and then very soon, and I mean very soon, I'll be doing a cast testing video of this spool and show you how well this spool works on the sister reel of the Alpha's Air TW, which is the Gekkabijin, the PE edition. All right, so yeah, this is a brand new reel. I've been waiting to get this because I wanted this sound from this specific drag clicker. All right, it sounds more metallic and loud, and it's gonna be great for my stream fishing for trout. And let me just give you a quick comparison to the Alpha's Air, because the Alpha's Air actually don't have a drag clicker, but I put the Sakisi clicker on it, and it is a little lighter. Okay, and I don't want to focus too much on comparing these two reels because this video is about the spool, but I just want to show y'all a little bit so y'all can see what's coming in the future. So stay tuned for all those stuff. We now are going to unbox this spool, and we'll take a look at it. We'll talk about the specs, we'll weigh it, and then also, I guess we'll compare it to the stock spool of the Gekkabijin, and then we'll put it on, see how it looks like, and yeah, we'll do some analysis, all right? So anyway, this is the spool, the AX22-MG, and thank you, Roro, for doing this etching for me. That's pretty darn cool. I love it. As you see, the spool comes with the micro bearing, the latest one, with the little O-ring. We're going to remove that later and weigh this whole spool. But let's take a look at this spool and see how much it weighs. As that load, let's talk a little bit more about it. Difference between this and the stock spool is obviously the weight. But one more thing is the inductor cup. This cup right here is fixed, is static, versus the stock one. And I'll pull that out right now so y'all can see it. The Daiwa spool is dynamic. So you see how it goes in and out? It actually twists up and goes back down. So if it needs to apply more brakes, it'll go up, but it'll come back down when it doesn't need it. That's the great thing about dynamic braking. It helps a lot, get a little bit more distance. But when you're bait finesse fishing and you want to throw that super light lure, you want a more constant braking pressure applied to your spool so you have more control. You're not trying to go for the distance, you're trying to get control. You don't want to get backlash, because if you cast those super thin PE line, I'm telling you, you backlash is going to be trouble. Nothing but trouble, okay? So anyway, note that this spool here have two models. And the difference between the two models are how thick this inductor cup is. The thicker one, obviously, is going to utilize more of the magnetic braking system. And for the thinner one, or the standard one, which is what I've got, well, it applies the normal amount of braking, okay? So anyways, let's weigh this guy without taking the bearing off, and then we're going to remove the bearing. So 3.7, that is super light. I'm going to compare it very quick with this guy here. And note that the Gekkabijin do have micro bearings in their reel as well, which is nice. So I don't need to swap this guy, okay? But let me weigh this one more time. Hold up. It's 3.7, right? 3.76, 3.77, okay. And then we'll put this guy here with the bearing. And this is a heavy bearing, by the way, because that sleeve looks heavy. Okay, so it's 8.69. So yeah, it's definitely a lot heavier. But When you have heavy spools, it's actually not that bad because it actually rotates longer, so it'll continue dispensing in line. And given that this is a short shaft spool, I think having a little bit heavier spool doesn't really matter. Okay, but if you really want to throw the super ultralight stuff, the niche, and excuse me, I'm actually going to say super ultralight SUL, then you definitely want to use this guy here. So I got this right here, the Boca bearing plier, and I keep saying that I don't recommend this, but people keep saying they want it. This is the third one I replaced, and they're so expensive that I don't want to replace them anymore. And as you see, if you look very close, I don't know if you can see it, but the little pin right there is starting to become a mushroom. And at some spools, once it goes in, it's hard to come out. And I am afraid that this is going to damage the spool pin. So I'll probably use it a few more times and that's it. All right. So anyway, let me just pop this guy. So here you go. This is the pin. I am looking at it. It looks like maybe this side. It does. I think it might be uniform. Hope for the best. If I mess up, well, sorry, Roro. Oh, come on. Ooh, all right. So I got it. Put this down right there. Take this out and away the spool. Boom. Wow, that is insanely light. Insanely light. Holy smokes. All right. Actually, let me put the pin in because technically the pin stays on. Okay, 3. That's still insanely light. Holy smokes, everyone. All right, let's put this to the side, and I guess we could take a look how much this guy weighs. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, that's not that bad. 6.89. Okay, but yeah, let's compare the spool bearings for a second. 1.7, 8. Wow. So yeah, this guy is a little bit heavier. Really neat stuff. Let me put these back together and let's talk about that Roro spool. For those who want to know how to use this, see that right there? This is where you push your pin back in. So I'm going to line that into that groove right there. Align that right there, okay, and squeeze softly. And as you see, I am not aligned yet, so I'm going to keep going till it's perfectly aligned in the center. Slowly do it, all right? Don't go crazy. And this guy's done. All right, so let me talk about why this guy right here, the AX22-MG version, why is this more expensive than its predecessor, the non-MG version? Well, MG stands for magnesium. This is magnesium titanium alloy. So it's strong, but it is lighter than the other predecessor. The other one, it's about 3.7 grams without the bearing. As you saw, this guy here, 3 grams. Okay, so this a lot lighter. Also, if you look at this guy here, there's a ball right there. This is a 2mm ceramic ball. This makes it spin a lot easier. So the startup of this spool goes a lot easier and allowing you to cast lighter lures much easier. All right, much easier. But do note that this spool will cast fast. So make sure y'all play around with the brakes. When you first cast lightly. On Roro website, it stated that this spool right here could cast 0.6 grams. So yeah, I can't wait to cast some light lures. I have a super light jig, ice fishing jig that's fly inspired, and it weighs half a gram, so it's gonna be a perfect test. So yeah, if you want to cast super light lures, you want to use a super ultralight setup, this spool might be for you, and it fits many different reels because Daiwa have many different reels, but it shares the same body. So again, this fits the Alpha's Air TW, it fits the Gekkabijin, it fits the new 2023 SLP Millionaire, the Silver Creek, and it also fits the Steez Air. So this is a great spool and it fits a lot of different reels. All right, so let's shove this guy into the reel and let's see how it looks like and see how it works. But let me tell you guys one thing about Daiwa reels, okay? Most Daiwa reels, especially the expensive ones, have a feature called the zero tension adjuster. This thing right here, out of the box, if you were using the stock spool, you actually don't need to tune this at all. Okay, whether it's Bait Finesse reel or the new Tatula 100, I believe the Tatula 100 is probably the lowest model that sports this feature. You just don't touch it. You don't touch it at all. But, and I say but, if you ever swap off to a different spool, you never know if the spools have different length, right? And this guy right here has a micro bearing right there, so it might be a little bit longer. I don't know. So to be safe, what everyone should do is you should loosen up your tension knob before you put in the spool. And I'll show you how to readjust this. It's so simple. All you have to do is once you put your spool in here and you close this thing here, and it's the same way that all Bait Finesse folks tune their tension knob. That's the same way that Daiwa does it with their zero tension adjuster. And that is, we're gonna tighten up your tension knob until the spool does not have a left and right movement. Okay, so we tighten it, wobble, wobble, a little bit more wobble. Man, I really loosen it up because I don't want to damage anything. All right, it's almost there. So Daiwa actually have a tiny little movement, a little clack, okay? Very small, and you can barely hear it. This is too loud. One more time. Right there. Okay, so I tuned it exactly how Daiwa have it on all the reels, just a very minor left and right. You can feel it, but you can barely hear it. If you are a new Bait Finesse angler and you want to make sure that you don't backlash like crazy, you can tighten it just a little bit more so you don't have the left and right wobble. And the spool will spin just a little bit slower. And if you want, you can tighten it a little bit more. But I rely mainly on the brakes all the time. And of course, you gotta use your thumb. Always use your thumb. You have to master your thumb if you're a bait caster user, okay? Especially if you want distance and accuracy. But yep, this is ready to go. I will be doing cast testing very soon and see how low this could go. And I'll be using thin braid. I got some new line here from Major Craft. This is the Dongon braid, and I'll be using 0.4 go. Now this reel right here recommended 0.6 go at its lightest. Okay, obviously you use thinner if you want to. And because I do have a lighter spool, I will be using thinner line and just messing around. All right. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this video. The fish don't wait. So if you are interested in this spool and maybe the reel, right, make sure y'all stay tuned because there will be cast testing videos as well as fishing adventures. Can't wait. Well, if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification and you'll be informed for my latest Bait Finesse adventures. Peace out.